Dick Butkus. Yes, Dick Butkus, the NFL Hall of Fame football player, linebacker of the Chicago Bears, loves this product. Specifically this product. Because several years ago he had a charity event fundraiser in Chicago, and we flew out there with several hundred pounds of this product as part of the meal, and it was a big hit. So it's the next day. I've shaved, changed shirt. Meat has marinated overnight. So I've done a little prep in order to finish my process, which includes actually steaming it right away as soon as I've finished putting it in the casing. And this is a homemade contraption for steaming it. It's a turkey fryer. It's almost 18 inches tall, which is good. I've drilled holes at the top, and I have these steel rods, 3/16 steel rods, that I feed all the way through, and I hold in place with some tape on the end so that they don't slide off. And the water will come to a full boil, and when I make the kielbasa, put it in the casing, I'll be able to drape it over top of that, and then it'll steam for anywhere from 9 to 10 minutes depending on how much is in there. So, some other prep that I do in order to make it go smoother. This is some heavy duty jeans thread that I've cut into 10 to 12 inch lengths. I've also taken this 1-inch masking tape, uncoiled about a 30-inch piece, lapped it on top of itself so it'll stick to here, because as I go through the process of casing it, spinning it, I need to tie it off so it doesn't on-spin. This is the casing. It's natural pork casing, hog casing. I didn't show this, but I put a plunger in the sink there, put it on warm water, and run warm water through the casing to clean it. Now to the pimping of the grinder. If you're doing what I'm doing, where we grind it first and then we try to shove it down the tube, this vertical tube, into the casing tube out the front, this is horrible. It actually failed big time, because the plunger that they give you is about at least 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch diameter, smaller than the inside of the riser, and the way it's shaped, it's not solid. The ground meat comes all the way around it, and you don't get any push out the front to get into the casing. So to solve that, like I did yesterday, I showed you yesterday, I cut this at about good 3/4 above, sanded down the inside so it's not got any sharp corners in here, and I want to make my plunger bigger and more precise. This is a piece from the plumbing department at your big box home store that fits snugly around that. Then I have the same no-hub rubber that slips on, and you flush this up with a hose clamp, snug that up. And this is what makes it. This is about a 10, 11 inch piece of 2-inch PVC. And again, I sanded down the inside edge. That's the top. This fits nicely right in here. And then, instead of having that big tray that's shown on the KitchenAid food grinder attachment, this is another plumbing department fitting, no-hub fitting, from a 2-inch to a 4-inch that I've trimmed and modified, and this slips on top here. Flush that up, and with the rounded edge on the inside, things slide down a whole lot easier. So then here's the plunger, goes inside Now there's a plastic piece that comes with the attachment that I lost. Well, I didn't want to buy a whole nother set, so I came up with an idea of taking a finish nail that I've cut to the perfect length. I drilled holes in the top and the bottom here, and then this slides in perfectly and holds the auger in place while it spins. Then we have our larger tube for stuffing sausage, and that just goes on here, nice and tight. Yes, that is duct tape because I use this so much that the edge is cracked a little bit, and you know, duct tape is great for everything. Then in order to plunge this is a piece of 1.25" PVC with a cap on the end for plunging, and then this is a cap on the bottom that I actually had to just do a little bit of sanding to. I flattened out the bottom instead of making it round so that it pushes more, and then this with 1.25" PVC and the cap and a little bit of sanding fits absolutely perfectly inside here for plunging. So there's no loss of product that squeezes up around like in the original food grinder attachment. In order to make this work a little better, this is just a TV tray stand that drops the mixer down to a lower height, so everything is closer to countertop height. So as I'm stuffing the casing, it's right here instead of being that high. And we have our bread this time in advance. I usually take a little bit of spray oil. This is canola cooking spray, and lubricate the tube before I put the casing on. If this casing isn't wet, it is a lot harder to put on. So I always have a couple of paper towels handy. I also usually spray the inside, and we'll give a little spray to the plunger. That's good stuff. We're practicing. Mother of our 7 children. I have a spoon that's perfectly shaped that fits right inside the 2-inch PVC. We try to scoop this off to the side so that it's egg-shaped, so it slides down here better. Compact it so there's no air pockets, because you really don't want air pockets in your casing. So we fill it up till it's almost to the top so that we can stick the plunger in. And turn it on to 6. And this just goes straight down, twisting it as you turn lightly. And once it comes out, take the plunger back out. Got to pull straight up, set it in this here. Take this excess, throw it back in here. Wipe your hand. Now I pull the casing over there, over the front of the tube a little bit, and then here's my first string instead of tying it in a knot and wasting casing. It's all tied off. So now we're ready to go. Turn it back on to 6 and plunge evenly, holding the casing on the tube until it's the desired fill. Alright, stop. These are about 6-inch lengths, so at 6-inch I'll pinch it. Okay, go. Alright, you bottomed out. So now the plunger needs to come out as you twist. You got it? Alright. While she's filling that, I'm going to take the string and tie this off. I'm going to turn the heat up to get this boiling. And alright, so now I've got 8 links, pretty close to the same size. I don't weigh them or anything. Now I'm going to snip this. It's all tied off. This is boiling. So then I just take these and drape them. Kind of spread them out so they're evenly spaced. And they just hang there. I'll give you a shot of this. So set the timer for 10 minutes. Take another string and tie this off, and we repeat the process. And here's another tool. I just took an old, what would you call this? A meat fork. And I bent one tong completely down, and the other tong I bent at a 90 degree, slightly over it past 90, with about a 3/4 inch hook. And what I'll do is, after I take the lid off, and these are all steamed, I use this to hook it at the top to pull it off. You'll see. How we doing? Ready? I will admit to one ingredient: fresh garlic. You just can't beat fresh garlic. The heck with all that other powdered stuff. Alright. 12 more done. We have 28 links from that amount of pork that we used. Awesome stuff. After they cool, then I can cut them individually, get the strings off, get the little twisty ends off. Next step will be to throw a few on the barbecue grill and show you what they look like after they're barbecued, because that's the best way. It brings in the most flavor with the casing being grilled over a hot fire. Good stuff. They have cooled down, and we took some sharp scissors and snipped the strings and the little end twist off of them. Now we're ready to grill them. We got the grill nice and hot. Because they're already fully steam cooked, all we want to do is put them on each side for about 3 minutes each, just to get some char on that casing. And about a 4-foot wingspan hawk just flew overhead. That was what got my attention. Now, if you're paying attention, you'll notice that I have a different shirt on. A little bit of advertising. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes. Get that nice brown on the casing. Take you over and give you a closer look. close it up. Stays nice and hot for another couple of 3 minutes. Then we're going to take them off and taste them. Alright, it's been 3 minutes. Just about. We got an even brown on each side. Shut it off. Put these bad boys on the plate. Let them cool for just a minute here. As I said earlier, that because they're already fully steamed, we don't want to cook these things and turn them into a log. We just want to get that casing on the outside nice and golden brown. Add that extra flavor and pop. Yeah, baby. Once you start biting into them, it's like just one more bite, just one more bite, just one more bite. Next thing you know, you've eaten 3 or 4 of these. No problem. That's it till next time when we do the authentic Polish, another family recipe, pierogies. Happy, 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 Phil.